Eggplant. This is a very nice looking eggplant. It's very purple. It doesn't have any soft spots to it. And it doesn't have any damage to it. This was great. With an eggplant, we're going to cut this up. This is going to be part of our dinner tonight. Again, you want to eliminate any rolling parts. So I'm just going to cut this top off. Cut the bottom off. Make sure you have a firm grip here. Sometimes you have to pierce the skin. Put your extras into your stock, and then since this is going to be cooked as a dice, I'm going to peel it. So peeling an eggplant isn't as difficult as it may seem. Again, you use your chef knife and you just follow the contours of the eggplant down. The first slice is actually the hardest. You have to make sure you get that little bend at the bottom. I still use those in my stock too. And then it becomes easier because you can see exactly where the peel is. So you just follow the peel down and cut it out. And you do the same until you're done. And we're finishing up our eggplant. So we'll take this last one off here. And there we have it. Again, I saved the peels here for my stock. They'll make a nice addition. Eggplant, once you do that, you can see that it's firmly on the ground. So we're going to cut this into coins. Again, you want a good grip on it. Do you see how this finger here makes it possible to have the knife come down? You're supposed to use the back end of the knife. And just down that comes. You want them to be the same size. So actually, since that didn't fall off, it's easy to make them the same size. Make sure you're cut all the way through. And there we have it, all into coins. Now, the one thing about eggplant is we could cut this into the dice now, but eggplant is bitter and we want to remove the bitterness before we cook the eggplant. So we have one more step that we need to do. In order to get the bitter juices out of the eggplant, we're going to salt it. Here I have a bowl of salt. It's just regular kosher salt. The grains are a little bit bigger than what you get from pouring salt. Just take your eggplant, put it into the salt, one on each side, and then actually I have this grate here that I'm going to put them on. So a little bit of salt on each side. Good, a little more. You can see this part doesn't have any. Then we do that for each of them. This will leach that liquid out. You could do this. You could cut this into the dice and then put it into a bowl, cover it with salt, or put it on paper towels and let that absorb the water. I'm not going to take this. I'm going to put it over the sink 15 minutes and then turn it over for another 15 minutes and then rinse the salt off, and then we can finish up with the dice. We let them sit for the half an hour. We had salted them, as you'll recall, left them over the sink so that the bitter liquid would drain out of it or be leached out of it. I rinsed the salt off and we're ready to go. We're just going to put this into a dice, and so grip it this way, hold your knife with your finger and your thumb, and then grab a hold of it so you have really good solid control over this. I know where this knife is at all times when I hold it this way. If you hold your fingers this way, your knife can go right down the front, and all your fingers are behind it. So we're just going to dice this, and then turn it, and maybe show you one more. So again, remember, hold grip. You have a good grip if you do it this way. This is cut a little bit strange. It's fatter here, so we're going to want these pieces up front to be smaller than these pieces here, so they actually end up to be the same size. So we cut this one in a little tight and go in a little bit bigger as we go down. Turn it 90 degrees, and then the same thing, and there's your diced eggplant.